Okay, so our next review for you is House of Blight. This has got the most gorgeous cover, but my Kindle is black and white, so I will put a screenshot of that on there somewhere. So in this book, we follow our female main character, Adira. She is a thread mender, which is this world's version of a magical healer. And they do this by sacrificing their own life threads to mend others. So she's managed so far to hide her identity by dyeing her hair black. All thread menders have this kind of distinctive white hair, and she does this so that others can't take advantage of her and use her powers. But her brothers then succumb to this deadly blight that is ravaging the land, and she has no choice but to step into the dangerous and mysterious world of the Evers. So these are a number of really enigmatic fae families that kind of rule this land. And this is in an attempt to work with them to find the cure. So she's taken off to Fernglove Manor, home to the most prominent of these Ever families, the Ferngloves. She's manipulated, she's coerced, she's belittled by the entire family in this race to not only cure their matriarch, which is part of the deal that she makes, but also to cure her brothers. But she needs to do this without sacrificing too much of her own life or her own life entirely. She soon discovers that all that glitters is not gold when the cracks start to appear in the glamour that the Fae have put across the manor. And, there are some big secrets that are being kept from her. So she's pretty admirable for her loyalty to her brothers and her determination to find this cure for them and save their lives no matter what. But I did find her a little bit annoying at points when she makes some pretty poor decisions, even though she's constantly warned not to trust anybody or anything that she sees within the manor. She's kind of so taken with this sparkly magic exterior that they're presenting to her that she's blinkered to what is actually going on underneath the surface. And the romance I found a little bit contrived. It's very clear that he's manipulating her, but again, she doesn't see past the pretty face and kind of makes her seem purposely obtuse. The manor setting within this is almost like a character within itself. It's this creepy, eerie, gothic manor. Lots of nooks and crannies, secret passages, statues, things like that. All of these descriptions just add incredible tension to the plot. There is also this description of the ancestor tree, which is pretty horrific, but I'm not going to spoil that. She thinks there's a ghost roaming the halls or a spirit roaming the halls of the manor, and there's this blight that we discover is not only affecting the inhabitants of the manor but also the manor itself, and it kind of borders on horror and fantasy rather than your typical romantasy. Story is laid out in a pretty standard format. Down on her luck, FMC, struggling to survive. She gets, she meets this mysterious, beautiful, immortal man who tells her she's the only one that can save the world. She falls in love with him in the meantime. But it is so incredibly well written that it's different enough to be completely addictive, to feel like a completely new story. Did find the pacing a little bit slow at some parts, but the payoff is worth it when you get to some pretty bombshell revelations and twists towards the second half of the book. The plot does get wrapped up pretty nicely at the end, but there are just enough threads that are left loose that it sets up nicely for a second book, which I absolutely cannot wait for, and I rated this 4 stars.